Sporlan, creating products that provide solutions so that your air conditioning and refrigeration needs are not only met, but exceeded. Offer the highest quality products, innovative solutions, and unparalleled support in the market.
Hey guys, I am leaving my house. Just came home for lunch. Did a call a little town called Harrell's. Now I'm heading up to a little place called Rocky Point. I did get one more service call, but it is in Wilmington, so I won't be going to that one today because Wilmington is about 35-40 miles from my house. So after going to Harrell's, which is 20 miles on the other side, and going to Rocky Point, which is 40 miles from Harrell's, that'll be about all I can do in one day. The place in Wilmington, no AC call, which is not critical because it's actually not that hot today, which is kind of nice. Gives me a little bit of leeway because I won't be able to make it there. But for today, we're looking at a house that is supposed to have gotten into some mold issues. So we're going to see what's going on. It is a trailer. It's had issues with cleanliness before, so I don't really know what we're going to get into. They asked me if I could clean the ductwork. I've never cleaned trailer ductwork. I don't know how hard it would be. If there's a special tool they make, I'm sure they do. I'm just unfamiliar with it. So I'm going to go check it out and see if it needs to be cleaned or what. Got my coil cleaner. That's pretty much all I have with me. I'm going to test the system. Clean the coil if necessary, see if it needs to be cleaned up. I've cleaned it up before, so I'll be kind of curious about this. So come along for the ride and let's enjoy the hell out of some HVAC. Well, I'm gonna turn this thing off. Take the door off of it. They've redone a lot of the stuff in here because they said it was all moldy. So we're gonna take the door off of this furnace. If I can get it off. See how she looks. Got a float switch in there. TXV, I installed this unit inside and out. Amrad capacitor. A little rust at the bottom, but she's still alive. Let's get a light on that coil here. No one's been using a filter, looks like. Yes, definitely not. Definitely needs a nice coil brush. Oh, good grief. Alright, let's do that first. Got it brushed off down there. A little bit damp where it'd been running. So we're going to spray this thing down with some of this foaming coil cleaner, then turn it on, let it rinse it off, and see how well we do as far as operation. And I'll take a look inside these vents too to see what the ductwork looks like. They're worried about mold being in the ductwork, but it might be some other issue. So we'll wait and see if there's any mold in the ductwork or not. So I got everything sprayed off here. You can still see a little bit of it there. Let it foam up for a minute. Turn this thing on and the condensation of the AC cycle on the coil will wash it off. Motor looks pretty clean. I've cleaned that motor before. You can see down in there. Hard to see, sorry guys. Can't see those things very well, but I'm gonna go ahead and start things up, put the door back on here. It draws in return air to this opening that doesn't have a filter. We can't do nothing about that right now. Put the grill back on and tell them to get a filter, and we'll test things out to see how it's working. I have my leads on Herm and Common on the capacitor. We have 358 thereabouts. So now I need to get my amperage off that yellow wire coming off the Herm so we can get our capacitor running load capacitance. Put our yellow wire right here. And we have 4.5 basically. 4.5. So let me do a little bit of math. We'll see where we're at. Alright, we're going to start with the amps. 4.5. There's a constant. I can never quite remember. I know it's 2650 something. I'm going to use 54. I know they'll be close. I'm going to divide that by our 358 volts. 33.36. The capacitor is a 40/5, so it's in fact weak. So we're really close to 300. Really close to 300, and over here, our saturation point was right around 94, 95, and we're still there. So we don't have any subcooling right now, which is a concern. Let me see how much superheat we have on this valve, because we are running a very high suction pressure, as you can see. We're running a super high suction pressure, so it might be a situation where that valve's open so much we're losing our subcooling. So right now we're running at right around 135 psi suction. with a temperature just over 45, about 46 or so. If we go over here, we only have a couple degrees of superheat, 2 or 3 degrees of superheat. I'm not going to adjust the TXV just yet. I had adjusted it on startup and it was good to go. And since we've had to clean this coil off, there's crap all over this coil, I don't want to go adjusting it right now. But I do want it to run for a few minutes and maybe that suction pressure will come down. TXV will start wrenching back down and give us a little bit of subcooling instead of being wide open. A lot of times when folks tell me that there's a mold issue at their house, a lot of times it's dirt or something else that's not mold. But let's take a close look at this. I'm going to turn the sound off because of the wind coming through the register, and we're going to take a peek down inside here. That duct at the far end of the house, which was down there in that bedroom, looked like it did have some mold in it. None of the other ones have. I've looked down this line here and in the other bedroom, because it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath trailer, single wide, not a big one. So let's look down inside of this register here. We'll turn the sound off again. So that's gross looking down there in the hole, but it's not exactly what looks like mold. The other one looks like mold. This one doesn't. So I don't know. I don't know how you clean trailer duct systems. I'm sure some of you do. I could probably use some pointers from you guys. I don't know if it's something I'm even going to mess with. I'll probably look it up on the internet and see if it looks like something I want to do. It definitely looks like there's mold in that one outlet, so that's kind of gross. As you can see, guys, we're right around 94 degrees now on the saturation. And we do have a little bit of subcooling now, just a little bit. But as the suction pressure goes down, our subcooling goes up as it cools down in the space. See, our suction pressure has gone down to about 126. So after a while, we may get a few more degrees of subcooling. That's why I'm not going to adjust things just yet, because I think that would be a little premature. As you can see, about a 1 degree of subcooling or so, maybe a little bit more here in a minute. So I'm probably going to leave it like this. I got to tell them about the mold, so I don't know what we're going to do about the ductwork or cleaning it. Trailer ductwork is above the vapor barrier, so it's kind of difficult to reach, so I don't know what they're going to want to do. So, but if I do something, I'll take you guys along for the ride. There's our new run capacitor. You can use the same strap. Just made a new hole in it so it'll fit in there a little bit better. We're all hooked up. Got my meter here. X-Tech EX655, which we're testing for X-Tech Fleur in the gang. So we're going to check this capacitor out because we said it was about 33.3 on the running test. So 34, if you can see that, 34.7. So it shows a little bit higher here, but still well beyond the point where you would use it. Plus or minus 5%. If you do that, that's 40. That's 2 microfarads. So we're at least 6 away from there. So she needed to go. Of course, these are horrible capacitors. They break all the time. I've had a real big problem with these breaking over the years on Goodman, and ICP has these same ones, and they're just bad capacitors, unfortunately. So now we're really done, guys, and I'm out of here.